Hi everyone, today we will explore the exciting NS-25 mission of Blue Origin, a historic event that took the first black astronaut candidate from the US to the edge of space at the impressive age of 90. Yes, you heard right, at 90 years old. We will uncover the challenges overcome from the failed launch in 2022 to the recent success, and how the space economy is flourishing. Will space tourism become a reality? We will discuss the future of space tourism. How safe is it to travel with Blue Origin? We will tell you about Blue Origin's next steps, including the ambitious Blue Moon project. This is the space technician signing on. The new Shepard rocket and capsule, launched on the 19th of May 2024 from Launch Site 1, located in western Texas, USA, at Blue Origin's facilities. The mission, which lasted approximately 11 minutes, was broadcast live on the website of the company, founded by the third richest man on the planet, Jeff Bezos. Named NS-25 in honor of Alan Shepard, the first American in space. This was Blue Origin's 7th crewed mission, carrying 6 passengers on board. Venture capitalist Mason Angel, Sylvain Chiron, founder of the French craft brewery Brasserie Mont Blanc, software engineer and entrepreneur Kenneth L. Hess, retired accountant Carol Schaller, aviator Gopi Thotakura, and Ed Dwight. The latter is a retired captain of the U.S. Air Force, selected in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy as the country's first black astronaut candidate. Dwight managed to complete this challenge 60 years later and reached the edge of space at the age of 90, becoming the oldest person to venture to such heights, according to a Blue Origin spokesperson. However, is he really the oldest person to visit space? I'll tell you in a moment. During the mission, the crew reached a speed of more than 3 times the speed of sound, equivalent to over 3,700 kilometers per hour. The rocket propelled the capsule beyond the Kármán line, an area located 100 kilometers above the Earth's surface, which is widely recognized as the altitude where outer space begins. Although there are gray areas in this concept, at the highest point of the flight, the passengers enjoyed a few minutes of weightlessness and breathtaking views of the Earth through the cabin windows. This launch followed the success of an uncrewed scientific mission carried out in December, which marked the first flight of the new Shepard program after the mishap that occurred a few years earlier. To find out what really happened, we need to go back to September 12, 2022. A new Shepard rocket and spacecraft were scheduled to launch a batch of scientific instruments. However, 1 minute after liftoff, the rocket encountered Max Q, a critical moment when the spacecraft experienced maximum stress during flight. This aerospace term refers to a moment when the rocket is at a relatively low altitude, where the atmosphere is still dense, but the spacecraft is moving at high speeds, generating intense pressure on the vehicle. At that moment, the rocket appeared to experience a massive burst of flames. The new Shepard capsule, which was atop the rocket, triggered its launch abort system, igniting a small motor to safely separate from the damaged rocket. This system worked as intended, launching the capsule by parachute to a safe landing. Blue Origin later revealed that the cause of the failure was a problem with the engine nozzle, a large cone that directs the flaming exhaust downward from the rocket. Onboard computers accurately detected the failure and shut down the engine, according to the company. Fortunately, no injuries were reported on the ground, and Blue Origin stated that the scientific payloads and capsule could fly again. However, the rocket, being left without a functioning engine, crashed to the ground and was completely destroyed. Typically, after the new Shepard launch, the booster rocket heads back for a safe vertical landing to fly again. During an interview in December, Bezos mentioned that the escape system, which allowed the capsule to divert to a safe location, is the most challenging piece of engineering in the entire rocket. However, he added that it's the reason he feels comfortable allowing anyone to travel on the new Shepard. The rocket booster is as safe and reliable as we can make it, Bezos asserted. Additionally, he noted that the power density is so high that it's impossible to guarantee that nothing will go wrong. Therefore, the only way to improve safety is through an escape system. In my opinion, a tourist vehicle should be designed to be as safe as possible, he said. It can't be made perfectly safe. It's impossible. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, responsible for granting licenses for commercial rocket launches and ensuring public safety, conducted a thorough investigation into the failure. It was found that the engine nozzle failed because it experienced higher temperatures than anticipated by the company. The FAA formally concluded the investigation on September 27, 2023, identifying 21 corrective actions that Blue Origin needed to implement before resuming flights. Among these corrective measures was the redesign of the engine and nozzle component, with changes in the combustion chamber to reduce temperatures and improve the structural resistance of the nozzle under thermal and dynamic loads. Comprehensive tests of the B-3PM engine in flight configurations were conducted to ensure expected safety and performance under extreme conditions. Additionally, adjustments were made to the materials used, with the selection of new materials for parts exposed to high temperatures during flight. Monitoring and control systems were improved, including anomaly detection and automatic response, as well as activation of the emergency escape system in case of failures. Blue Origin also had to make organizational modifications to enhance supervision and management of safety in its operations. Although the agency did not disclose specific details about these actions, it was mentioned that the report contains classified data and is not available for public disclosure. The implemented changes and the successful flight of New Shepard in December propelled the company to resume its space journeys for those seeking intense thrills. Before the September 2022 failure, New Shepard rockets had carried out 22 consecutive successful missions, including 6 with passengers on board. Bezos himself had flown aboard the rocket in 2021. Other notable space tourists previously transported on the vehicle include Star Trek Captain Kirk, William Shatner, who at 90 years old became the oldest man to fly into outer space, surpassing aviator Mary Wallace Funk, 82, who had participated in the company's first crewed suborbital flight. In response to the initial question, did you guess correctly? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Additionally, alongside Captain Kirk was former NFL star Michael Strahan, who described the experience as incredible. The World Economic Forum estimates that by the year 2035, the space economy will reach a value of $1.8 trillion, representing an average annual growth of 9%, compared to the $630 billion recorded in 2023. This projected growth surpasses the expected growth rate for the global gross domestic product over the same period. The first seat on Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket was sold for $28 million in a global auction in 2021. Although the price of tickets for the company's space tourism trips has not been made public, reports have suggested that a seat on New Shepard costs around $1.25 million. Space tourism is projected to reach a peak valuation of between $4 billion and $6 billion in the next decade, according to the World Economic Forum. Most of the revenue is expected to come from stays in orbit aboard space stations by individuals with high purchasing power. Blue Origin is poised to capitalize on this trend through its commercial flights and collaboration agreements with NASA. Last year, the company won a contract with the space agency to develop Blue Moon, a project that includes a lunar landing module and a robotic space cargo transporter to carry payloads to the Earth's satellite. Additionally, the company is working on the construction of the New Glenn rocket, designed to reach orbit, with its first flight scheduled for late 2024. The curious thing is that they still haven't assembled it all this time. They have the parts, they already have the engines. It's just a matter of all that turning into a rocket. The inaugural flight of the New Glenn was planned for 2020, then 2021. We moved on to 2022, then jumped to 2024. It's not like we're around here waiting for them to meet the date either, but considering they've already delivered the engines, the rest doesn't seem so far-fetched. We're not talking about a small rocket either. The launcher measures 98 meters tall with a capacity of 45 metric tons to LEO, well above the ULA's Vulcan or SpaceX's Falcon 9, although a bit below the Falcon Heavy and notably inferior to Starship. The tentative date for its launch is estimated to be December 18th, and it will carry 33 scientific experiments and 38,000 postcards. There won't be any passengers on board. So mark that day on your calendar to witness that great moment, which will be live-streamed on the company's website. What's your opinion on the future of space tourism? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. This is the Space Technician signing off for now, and I'll see you Space Cowboys in the next video.